Hi, Central family. My name is Mikellie Grant, and I was asked to share a little bit on the fruit of the Spirit, gentleness. When I was first asked to do this, I spent some time considering, what is gentleness and what does that look like? And I came across a website that said, gentleness is taking care not to harm others. And I just thought that was such a clear definition in my mind of what it really means. So I just have some different verses for this. So in Galatians 6, 1-2, it says, Brothers, if anyone is caught in any transgression, you who are spiritual should restore him in a spirit of gentleness. Keep watch on yourself, lest you too be tempted. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. I think of times when I see a friend or another believer sin and don't really know what to do. And these verses are very clear that we are to hold each other accountable, but in a spirit of gentleness. We are not to tear them down and make them feel guilt and shame, but to point them to Christ and to the hope and freedom and forgiveness found in Him, and to be building each other up in that way. In a very, very different scenario, 1 Peter 3:13-15 says, Now who is there to harm you if you are zealous for what is good? But even if you should suffer for righteousness' sake, you will be blessed. Have no fear of them, nor be troubled. But in your hearts honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you. Yet do it with gentleness and respect. Now, these verses make me think of the story in John 8, when the Pharisees are getting ready to stone the woman who committed adultery. And Jesus walks up and writes in the sand and says, You who is without sin, cast the first stone. And they all leave. And Jesus walks up to the woman and says, Who has condemned you? And she says, No one. And he says, Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. And I just think these verses are such a beautiful picture of gentleness. Jesus knew her sin, and he did not condemn her in that. He did not tear her down. He said, go and sin no more. Now, we don't have the power to forgive, and we don't have that knowledge that Jesus had. But I just think of how could our interactions with non-believers be more like that? Not tearing them down for the choices they've made, not yelling in street corners or shoving it down their throat, but just saying, this is the hope that I have. This is how my relationship with Jesus has changed me. And, pointing them towards that, not in a way that tears them down, but in just a way that shows how we have changed and what Jesus has done for us. And pointing to the ultimate picture of gentleness of Jesus coming down to earth to die for us. God didn't need to do that. And it's just what a picture of gentleness, that we deserve hell. And God sent his son to die so we could be with him out of his great love. I just think, and us sharing Christ, it is the ultimate picture of God's love and gentleness. So I just pray that this has been encouraging for you and challenging for you. And I challenge you to find ways, how can we be interacting with believers and non-believers, taking care not to harm them as Christ has done for us. So I just pray that challenges you, and I pray that you have a blessed day.